My name is Emily. I lost my parents when I was just a child. I had no one left in this world. That's when a man who lived next door took me in. He offered me shelter and raised me as his own daughter. He gave me a home and cared for me like family. As I grew older, I began helping him with everything around the house. He had a big, beautiful home, but he lived there all alone. I never asked him why or where his family was. After all, he had done so much for me. He always took care of me, gave me clothes, money, and everything I needed. Besides us, there were 2 housekeepers, and honestly, I lacked nothing. There was just one rule in the house. No one was allowed to go into the storage room upstairs. Mr. Harris, the man who took me in, specifically told me to stay away from that room. The storage room was on the top floor. I often wondered what could be so secret in there that he didn't want anyone going near it. Once, I asked him if I could clean the upstairs floor. He said, "All right, you can clean up there, but stay away from the storage room." He also reminded me not to go near that floor too often. I never pressed him for answers. I understood that he had shown me immense kindness and trusted me deeply. And I never wanted to break that trust. Life in that house was good. I could eat when I wanted, do things at my own pace, and never felt restricted. I saw Mr. Harris go upstairs many times, possibly to that room, but I never followed. A few weeks later, Mr. Harris had to leave town for work. He called me over, handed me the keys to the entire house, and said, "Take care of everything, Emily. And remember, don't clean the upstairs floor while I'm gone." He trusted me completely. After all, he had known me since I was a little girl. That's why he left everything in my hands. Once he left, I had complete freedom. That evening, the house felt quieter than usual. Every ticking second echoed off the high walls. I wrapped the soft cashmere shawl around me, one Mr. Harris had gifted me on my birthday, and sat by the window, watching the streetlights flicker in the distance. The air was oddly warm for a winter night. I wasn't sure if it was the heat from the fireplace or the thoughts stirring inside me. The memory of Mr. Harris's hand brushing mine when he handed me the keys replayed in my mind. Accidental, surely, but lingered too long for comfort. It made something stir inside me, something unfamiliar, curious. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the warmth settle on my skin. The silence, the solitude, the freedom, it all wrapped around me like a slow wave. I let my fingers brush my collarbone, exposed just slightly where my sweater fell loose. A shiver ran down my spine, not from cold, but from something deeper, an ache I couldn't name. Was it wrong to feel this way? About a man who had raised me, protected me? But I wasn't a child anymore, and he had never once treated me like one. Not lately. The way his gaze lingered sometimes. Was I imagining it? I tried to shake it off. But as I climbed the stairs toward the forbidden floor, heart racing, not just from fear, but from something more primal, I realized that mystery had many faces. One of them was desire. But the thought of that locked room kept tugging at my mind. What could be in there that he didn't want me to see? I had the keys now, including the one to the mysterious storage room. I thought, maybe there's something personal in there, memories he doesn't want to share, or something valuable. But I kept stopping myself, thinking, what if he finds out? He might throw me out, and I have no one else. A week passed. One afternoon, I figured I'd clean the upstairs to pass the time. I gathered my courage and made my way up. Once again, the thought came to me. Just take a peek inside that room. This time, I didn't hesitate. I picked up the key, unlocked the door, and stepped inside, trembling. What I saw took the ground out from under my feet. I had never imagined anything like it. Terrified, I slammed the door shut and ran back downstairs. My heart was racing. My entire body was shaking with fear. I had always assumed it was a room full of old memories, or something he didn't want disturbed. But this was beyond anything I had expected. I sat on the sofa, trying to calm down and understand what I had just seen. After some time, I drank some whiskey, took a deep breath, and asked myself, what if Mr. Harris finds out? He might throw me out. Maybe worse. But the curiosity wouldn't leave me alone. I had to know the truth about Mr. Harris. Who was he really? What was his past? I made up my mind to search his bedroom and look for clues. I tiptoed in and began going through his things. Thankfully, none of the drawers were locked, probably because he trusted me so much. And yet, that night, I broke that trust. And I felt guilty about it. Still, I couldn't stop myself. I needed answers. I had always wondered why he lived alone and where his family was, but never dared to ask. While searching, I found an old diary and some photographs in his closet. Opened the diary and began to read. The more I read, the more disturbed I became. Until now, I had always thought of Mr. Harris as a kind, generous man. But some of the things written in that diary shook me. Not everything was clear, but bits and pieces started coming together. The photos helped too. One of them showed his parents holding a small child. Probably him. I put everything back exactly where I found it, hoping he wouldn't suspect anything. But from that moment on, I couldn't help but feel afraid of him. I had lived in that house with him since I was a child, but now my trust in him was shaken. He was due to return soon, and I was a mess inside. When he got home, I quickly made him dinner and retreated to my room. I kept thinking, if he finds out, what will he do to me? What if he kills me? As I tried to calm myself down, my phone rang. It was him. I picked up the phone, my heart pounding. He said,
Emily, can you come to my room?
My body froze. He knows. He must know. But then he added,
It's cold tonight. Can you make me a cup of coffee?
I breathed a little easier. I quickly made the coffee and brought it to his room. Then he looked at me and said gently,
Did you go through my room while I was gone?
My heart dropped. How did he know? I sat there silently, head bowed. He continued,
What were you looking for that made you search through my room like that? Have I ever treated you poorly? Was something missing in your life here?
Though his voice was calm, I had no words. He added,
You thought I wouldn't notice. The moment I stepped into my room, I could tell someone had gone through my things. Everything was just slightly off. I keep all my things in perfect order. I don't like things moved around. Maybe in your hurry you didn't put everything back just right.
He was upset, but still speaking gently. Finally, I couldn't hide the truth anymore. I was cleaning upstairs, I admitted, and I saw the storage room. Curiosity got the best of me, and I opened it. What I saw scared me. I needed to know the truth, so I searched your room hoping for clues. All I found was an old diary and some photographs. I didn't understand everything, but I thought I knew you, and now I'm not so sure. Mr. Harris gave me a faint smile and said,
I'm glad you know the difference between right and wrong. But if you really wanted to know the truth, you could have asked me. You didn't have to go through my things. I trusted you.
Then he began to tell me everything.
When I was just 4 years old, my father passed away. Our neighbor, a kind man, took care of us. Eventually, he asked my mother to marry him. She agreed, thinking it would give me a stable life and someone to manage my father's business. After the wedding, things were fine. He took good care of me, took me to school, bought me everything. My mother was happy, but it didn't last. A year after the wedding, my mom had a heart attack and passed away. My father had left a will before his death. stating that everything would be mine, but only when I turned 18. A small portion went to my stepfather. After my mom's death, everything changed. He pulled me out of school, locked me in a room, and barely fed me. He replaced the loyal house staff with greedy ones like himself. They threw parties every night and wasted all the money my real dad had earned. When I tried to leave the room, they beat me. Once, when I tried to escape, a servant caught me and reported it. After that, I was tied up and barely kept alive. One day, he told me the truth. My mom hadn't died naturally. He had poisoned her. He only married her to get access to my father's wealth. But when he learned everything was in my name, he had to keep me alive till I turned 18. If I died before then, the estate would go to a trust. I suffered for years, beaten, starved, mocked, and isolated. Then, one day, a new servant came. He asked who I was and why I was kept like that. I told him everything. He promised to help me when my stepfather left town one day. The servant helped me escape. He took me to his home in the countryside and protected me. When I turned 18, I contacted my father's old lawyer, his best friend. He helped me regain everything. When my stepfather found out, he came, begging for forgiveness. I forgave him publicly, but I never let go of the anger. He had stolen my childhood. I never had concrete evidence against him, but I decided to give him a chance to reflect. I left him alone so he could confront his own guilt. By then, I had moved on, started over. That's the truth, Emily. That's what you saw upstairs.
I looked at him in silence. The mystery was no longer a mystery, but my heart still felt heavy. I never imagined the man who saved me had once needed saving too.